Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture is My Life, Tea Time. Now, today's episode, no one made the request for this topic, only because after having a global Zoom conference with my colleagues from different countries, we had an interesting conversation pertaining to cancer and persistent symptoms. And I mean, this went on for a few hours. It stemmed further than what we'd expected time-wise. But it was very interesting because most of us recently had cases of this, including myself. So we're going to keep it as generic as possible, and I'm not going to mention any specific patients that, I'd sat with and some of the symptoms were obvious. This is just more for you guys out there globally to remain conscious of, because if you're experiencing, pain in these 2 to 4 particular body parts, it can actually be a sign of cancer. And these patients that I went over the situation with and referred them to specialists, unfortunately they were diagnosed with cancer, but it was very early, and both were very grateful for having actually come into Acupuncture is My Life simply for a wellness treatment, because they'd been experiencing these symptoms for some time and didn't understand, they just felt, well, maybe I just need a little tune-up. Whatever doctor they went to see initially just couldn't find anything wrong, advised them to get some rest and, things of that nature. But the discomfort persisted for some time. And it's not a situation where, these symptoms or this type of cancer was discussed on any particular social media platform and they'd come across it and contact Acupuncture My Life. They just came in annoyed with just feeling this type of pain on these body parts, only for me to assess them, assess their constitution. And as I discussed in previous podcasts, talk about how an acupuncturist views you as one, not as separate parts where you're referred out to separate different acupuncture specialists for that particular part of the body. The human organism is as one. Your constitution is as one, and it's unique. And for me as a doctor of acupuncture, it's my responsibility to thoroughly assess you, determine your constitutional weaknesses, and how these deficiencies may be causing excesses in other parts of the body, and focus on getting you balanced out. Pretty much, in a nutshell. I mean, there's more to it. But these 2 individuals they were annoyed by the persistent pain in these 2 areas, and didn't like the feedback that they got from their general practitioner. And this does happen sometimes. It's not saying that Western medicine is bad or, allopathic doctors are bad. A lot of them are great, but nothing is absolute. And I'm sure there are 1 or 2 acupuncturists around the world that may miss something when they're doing a diagnosis. So I never profess that this profession is perfect. It's awesome, but I never speak in absolute terms. But, one thing that I'd explain to them as well as others that I'll tell you now, is, you do have cancers that are easy to detect based on a painful lump, a lump that looks out of the ordinary, discoloration, signs of weight loss, that unexplained weight loss, I should say. And then you have certain cancers that are hard to detect because they don't present with obvious signs. They don't present in the form of a lump or discoloration or flaking of the skin and things of that nature. And this is why I say here on Acupuncture is My Life, health is wealth. Your body will give you subtle signals. And if you're not comfortable with what your doctor may have said, and certain discomforts continue, go see an acupuncturist. Contact Acupuncture is My Life. That's what we're here for. This is why I say over and over, follow us on every social media platform under Acupuncture is My Life. Follow us on every social media platform under Acupuncture is My Life. And if you're a Twitter person, it's at Acu_is_My_life. And then we also have tons of information on our website at acupunctureismylife.com. And you can even subscribe to our weekly newsletter, and twice a week we'll send to your email box tons of health advice, certain disorders that are out there, and how you can benefit from acupuncture. And not even just yourself. We have tons of people bringing or referring loved ones who contact us. Some fly to New York City. That's starting to actually pick up all over again, because it took a real hit when COVID first presented. But you have many out there, that are really into their health, and you guys are awesome, I have to say. And the flights into New York City are starting to pick up again, and people are coming into the clinics here. And that's not just from around the country, it's from overseas as well. It's about being proactive about your health, and it's awesome, because health is wealth. I say this over and over and over again. But back to the topic, the two major body parts in which a person experiences persistent pain, and you have to watch out for it. One is a persistent sore throat. And it's unexplained. It's like, I don't have a cold. It's not cold outside. I haven't been sitting under an air conditioner or taking cold showers and exposing myself. Why is my throat constantly irritated, constantly sore? And if you notice another area of your body that accompanies this persistent discomfort, now alarms should go off. And many take this combination for granted, like, oh, it'll subside, it'll eventually go away. And it hangs around and it hangs around, and then people will take over-the-counter medication to suppress the annoying sensation, but it's only masking it. But the other symptom is earache. If you're experiencing a persistent sore throat, and as well as a persistent earache, contact Acupuncture is My Life. We'll give you guidance, will recommend specialists that you should see. And this is if, after seeing your doctor, if you haven't seen your doctor about it yet, go to your doctor first. And if you don't feel comfortable with their recommendation or response, get in touch with Acupuncture is My Life. Also, go see an acupuncturist and discuss it with them. By the time you come out of that session, whether it's a telehealth session, Zoom session with Acupuncture is My Life, or you've flown in because you've been so concerned, or by the time you come out of a session with an acupuncturist, you will have a clearer picture as to what the heck is going on. But these two patients, as well as my international colleagues, some of them experienced this and ended up with the same result as myself. Whereas I sent them to see an ENT specialist right away. And that's an ENT specialist that's in the Acupuncture is My Life network. And both had laryngeal cancer. And that's cancer of the larynx, basically the voice box, which is in the front of your neck. And I'd explained to them, that constant, irritating, persistent sore throat was an early warning sign, accompanied with a persistent earache. And it was detected really early, and they felt relieved because it could have possibly had gone on and metastasized into a higher stage. And now we have problems. And this is why I constantly say, follow Acupuncture is My Life. You know what? If you're driving, just pull over. Pull over. You're crossing the street, get across the street. I'll give you a second. If you're lifting something heavy, put it down. Everyone, put yourself in a relaxed position and then close your eyes. And then say to yourself, Acupuncture is my life. And now open that. Boom. You're brand new. You are brand new. It starts now. But with regard to these two forms of discomfort, my colleagues and I, we did some research, extended research. I mean, we were already aware that this combination of discomfort or pain can be, but as acupuncturists, we do our own intake diagnosis to determine, which meridian pathways obstructed, deficient, and there's excess and what's causing what. And we explain it thoroughly to our patients as to what's going on, and then translate it into Western medical terms that they're accustomed to. And then they begin to understand the relationship, and wow. And it constantly, acupuncture's awesome. Then they begin to understand what's happening. Because studies do show that the combination of both earache and sore throat, if you experience that, you're at roughly around a 7% increased risk of having laryngeal cancer of the voice box. There are other potential symptoms that can accompany those two as well. And these would be considered low-level symptoms. But along with the earache, along with sore throat, persistent, constant, irritating earache and sore throat. If you're experiencing bouts of shortness of breath and also even trouble swallowing. Now, if you also are experiencing one or both of these additional symptoms, see your doctor. Be as detailed as possible. Even request to see an ear, nose, and throat specialist. Contact Acupuncture is My Life. See your local acupuncturist. Those are your general proactive measures in which you could take. Because no one's going to come to you and say, hey, is your ear bothering you? Is your throat sore? No, come on, seriously. This is your health. And only you can take charge, because I tell you over and over, health is wealth. Only you can take charge. But if you're experiencing shortness of breath and there's trouble swallowing, along with the earache and the sore throat, these are alarms just telling you, take your ass to your doctor. Request to see an ENT specialist. Contact Acupuncture is My Life for further advice as well. You can't go wrong now. Because all 4 symptoms, that including sore throat, earache, shortness of breath, trouble swallowing, are clear indicators of laryngeal cancer. Clear indicators. Because there's really no screening for this type of cancer. So your body's going to tell you. But it's just pay attention to your body. Forget the phone. The phone is excellent for you to follow Acupuncture is My Life. Contact Acupuncture is My Life, as well as your doctor. But other than that, engaging in all the other crap that's out there on social media. You love social media so much, then follow Acupuncture is My Life. That'll take up most of your day, because it's just so much information on our social media platform that'll educate you about your own health and how acupuncture can be of benefit to you. Think about these 2 patients if they hadn't walked in to the New York City clinic of Acupuncture is My Life. Think about it. How long could they have, continued tolerating this discomfort and masking it with over-the-counter medications? Allowing their body to adapt to dealing with this discomfort, whereby it begins to cause tons of other problems. This is why we say at Acupuncture is My Life. Visit your local acupuncturist. Contact Acupuncture is My Life especially if you don't know where to start. That's what we're here for. This is why tens of thousands follow us. Contact us. You have no excuse. You can also download the app at the Google Play Store. But when it comes to this type of cancer, there are a few risk factors that can make you more likely to develop this type of cancer. 1, smoking. Now, in past podcast episodes, I spoke about smoking and how acupuncture can help you quit smoking. Smoking's bad for you. It's not rocket science. I don't need to go over your ABCs with you. Whatever language you speak, I don't need to teach you your main language all over again. Because there is that basic understanding that smoking is bad for you. And it's a risk factor also for this type of cancer. Another risk factor is moderate to heavy alcohol consumption. Now, I know we're coming out of a period, and in some countries we're still in some form of high restriction or lockdown, so forth and so on. And alcohol sales have skyrocketed. And many people are relying on alcohol to cope with these restrictions. And I've discussed in past episodes, there are alternatives in which you can take, because heavy consumption, even moderate consumption on a regular basis of alcohol, is dangerous for your health in many ways. And here's another one. Here's just yet another one. It contributes. And this is so, we're talking about like even just one drink every day for a long period of time can put you at an increased likelihood of developing this type of cancer. Now imagine being a smoker and a moderate to heavy alcohol drinker. You have even a greater risk of developing this type of cancer. So think about it. This is why tens of thousands not only listen to the regular Acupuncture is My Life podcast, but they also listen to the Acupuncture is My Life Eastern Nutrition podcasts as well. This stuff is important. It really, really is. It really, really, really is. Another for everyone to think about, along with smoking, moderate to heavy alcohol consumption, is excess body weight. Especially in men, and also in people that are over 65 years of age. That also increases your risk of this type of cancer. And I know, we'll get the thankful emails. Many will thank us for this podcast. And just remain conscious of, do they experience two main symptoms, that being persistent sore throat and earache, potentially combined with shortness of breath, some difficulty swallowing, but even just earache and sore throat is enough to set off alarms. And then you have to also think about the contributing factors, that being smoking, alcohol consumption, being overweight. There's so much to think about. And this is why I say over and over, one thing's for sure, acupuncture is my life. What's yours?